Hey, what's up? Did you know that just like in the main game, the engineer is one of the most important classes in Mann vs Machine? Yeah, that ain't me being biased or anything, that's me being right. I mean, he was in the trailer after all, using the Frontier Justice and not building for some reason. Anyways, I assume that you're here because you want to learn how to play engineer in Mann vs Machine, but you don't know how. Well, this video is for you. Probably. Although I will be going over various things in this video, I will not be going over building placement aside from some general tips, because honestly, I feel like it would make the video way longer than it needs to be. A good thing with MVM is that engineer can build pretty much anywhere he wants. Some spots are obviously better than others, but you know how MVM robots are, they're stupid. As long as your sentry can kill the robots, your dispenser can dispense, and your teleporter can teleport, things should be good. I could eventually make an engineer's blueprints type video series going over the official MVM maps. If you guys would like that, please let me know. Disclaimer though, I'm not the best at MVM, and there's definitely some things that I will miss out on. So if you have anything else to add, please put it down in the comments below. I'll probably make a pinned comment writing down everything that I've missed. First up, before we get to the interesting parts, we gotta talk about the tools best fit for the job. Now you can use pretty much whatever you so please, but most of the time I'd recommend using the basic defense loadout, which is the Rescue Ranger, Wrangler, and the stock wrench. The Rescue Ranger is kind of the only weapon on this list which I don't need to speak about all too much. It's very self-explanatory. Yeah, just like in the regular game, it lets engineer be more mobile and whatnot. Also, pretty good against sentry busters. I'll talk about that more later. While I'm here, I might as well mention the other weapons you could use as an alternative. On certain waves or certain missions, a tank will spawn. A majority of the time you won't need to tank bust. However, if you need to, because of the fact that you can practically have infinite ammo and you don't need to reload, a Widowmaker with the firing speed fully upgraded can come in pretty handy. If you want to be more offensive, the Frontier Justice is honestly pretty decent. I know I kinda made fun of it in the intro, but honestly, pretty good. Now what about the shotgun? That's good too. But you might as well just upgrade to the Frontier Justice a bit to negate its downside. It becomes the stock shotgun but with a free crit canteen slapped onto it. Now, the Wrangler. It's basically the big shot when it comes to engineer secondaries, and that is also true when it comes to MVM. It's honestly a very helpful tool. You know, there's the obvious two, those being manually controlling your sentry and giving it that shield that reduces incoming damage. If you know how to sentry jump, it helps you set up quicker pre-wave, and it also helps quite a bit with dealing with the Uber medics. Since I've mentioned them, you know how Uber medics pop their Uber as soon as even a slight breeze touches them? And you know how the sentry gun just doesn't give a damn about it and just shoots them anyway? And you know how pulling out the Wrangler lets you manually control your sentry gun? You see where I'm going with this? Well, pulling out the Wrangler will ensure that your sentry will not shoot at them, therefore not popping them and making it quicker and easier for a demoman, sniper, pirate or whatever else to deal with them. Honestly, I'd say that the Wrangler is the only mandatory weapon for MVM, solely because the pistol is only useful in a handful of situations and the short circuit straight up just sucks in this game mode. You're missing out on quite a bit if you weren't using the Wrangler. Also, while I'm on the topic of the Wrangler, I have a tip for it. You know how after you wrangle a sentry it becomes inactive for a few seconds? Well, because of the fact that the buildings instantly redeploy after you place them back down, you can pick up your sentry and immediately place it back down to just bypass the inactivity period. It saves about like 2 seconds, which in a game like this, it's a big time save. When it comes to the wrenches, the stock wrench is the go-to wrench to use in MVM, although in early wave, the Jag can be a good pick. I'd recommend switching back to stock after a few waves though. Why? Well, the main upside of the Jag is being able to get buildings up quicker. That is negated by the fact that buildings instantly redeploy when you place them back down, no matter if it's during a wave or not. Also, with the building upgrade canteen, you can get all your buildings to level 3 without swinging a wrench even once. The upsides of the Jag really only come into play when you have no upgrade canteens available, otherwise it just becomes redundant. You can literally just upgrade the wrench to turn it into a better Jag anyways in this mode. Also, I might as well mention the Eureka effect. It's pretty decent. The fact that you can instantly get back to spawn after a wave is finished, as well as quickly getting back to spawn if and when a robot gets behind you, can come in pretty handy. But once you have the two-way teleporters upgrade, said upgrade just makes the upside of the Eureka effect partially redundant. You can still teleport back to spawn, it's just when you teleport to your exit, because this happens. The stock wrench on the other hand literally has no downsides whatsoever, meaning you can use the full benefits of your upgrades without gimping yourself, making it the strongest wrench in this game mode. You might as well just stick to stock from the start and just upgrade from there. Mann vs Machine is kind of the only game mode where the stock wrench is the best option compared to the others. Now, onto the upgrades and canteens. Let's start with the canteens first. The upgrade canteen is by far the best option for engineer. It gets all your buildings up to level 3 in an instant, and it even heals them all if they are damaged, although it doesn't restore ammo. The canteen still works in hull buildings, so for instance if you're carrying a level 1 sentry, using the canteen will automatically upgrade the sentry to level 3 once you've placed it down. Although when it comes to the teleporter, if you have both of them down, using the canteen while hauling one of the teleporters will upgrade both of them, but the teleporter that you're hauling will retain the health from the previous level, although you can just heal it to get the regular level 3 health. Every other canteen you can get has niche benefits. The crit and ubercharge canteens can come in handy for tank busting. The uber canteen also gives your sentry the Wrangler shield, giving the sentry a damage reduction of 90%. The refill clips and ammo canteen also refills your metal, and teleport to spawn is very self-explanatory. With this one, what's the point in even having this in the first place? The two-way teleporter upgrade is massively better for not only you but your entire team, and you can just get this canteen for free anyways by equipping the Eureka effect. And with the crit canteen, well, to put it simply, the fronted justice exists. Anyways, upgrades. They're pretty simple. If I was you, I would prioritize dispenser range more than anything. Not only does this help your team, but it also helps you. Theoretically, the further the range is, the less likely that your dispenser is going to get damaged. Although in my experience, a lot of people just sit right next to it and even inside of it. The latter I can understand because of dispenser armor, but come on, move out the way. It has extended range for a reason. Honestly, I wouldn't even care so much about it, but for some reason, your teammates can just block rescue ranger bolts for some reason, meaning I am wasting my ammo trying to heal my dispenser. It annoys me. Move out the way. Anyways, two-way teleporters is also a very important upgrade to have. It saves up the wait time for pre-wave, and it also helps massively if a robot has gone behind and has gone awfully close to the bomb hatch. 50% max metal and 100% building health are also pretty good upgrades to have. Personally, I get these over the course of the entire mission. Now, I personally don't use this upgrade, so I'm not entirely sure if it's true, but apparently the sentry firing speed upgrade is just bugged for some reason. Not entirely sure why. Take this with a grain of salt, because like I said, I don't use it myself, but I've heard getting up to 2 ticks of sentry firing speed is fine, but getting all 3 ticks isn't. On the other hand, I have actually used disposable sentries before. It's literally just a mini sentry that's smaller and weaker and overall just worse. It's just a waste of $500 and 130 metal. You could use those dollars on better upgrades, and you could save that metal for repairing and building buildings that actually matter. Oh yeah, you definitely should upgrade your wrench swing speed as well. Like I mentioned earlier, it pretty much turns your wrench into a superior jag. But yeah, those are the upgrades you should probably prioritize. With everything else, you can kind of just get whatever you want, whenever you want. I've heard that the metal regen upgrade can be a big waste of money. To be honest, I do agree. There's so many metal packs placed around the maps, and also the extra metal upgrade exists. You'll probably also have a dispenser up as well, so just bulk up to that instead. I only really get this upgrade closer to the end of the mission, but maybe you shouldn't bother with it at all. I might be dumb as hell for not doing so, but honestly, I don't really bother getting resistances or whatnot until nearer to the final waves. If you're smarter than me, then getting them might be a good idea. Although maybe not, because in my experience, unlike the other classes, Engineer doesn't really need them for the most part. Sentry busters are pretty interesting. They start to spawn after you get a certain amount of kills on your sentry, and they will spawn frequently for as long as that same sentry is still up. That being said, a way to counter this is to just destroy sentry every so often. Though personally, I'd only do this in between waves. It's just a waste of an upgrade canteen. Honestly, you might as well just wait until it gets destroyed by either a sentry buster or one of the various robots. Let's say a buster spawns in. How do you deal with them? The obvious two are depleting its health and just letting it detonate. The Rescue Ranger is very good at countering the sentry buster, as you can just do this as it explodes. You can also ask your pyro if they could air blast the buster as it detonates. Could come in handy because the buster explosion team kills, although be careful because this can happen whether it be accidental or otherwise.
Almost done. Oh Gaben, give us today our daily pan. Griff, you...
But did you know that there's a secret third option? The sentry buster just kinda gives up and dies if you pick up your sentry and just touch the buster with it. I'd like to imagine that the buster becomes so disappointed to the point it overloads the circuits by the fact that you just did that. In reality, it's just coded to explode once it touches the sentry, and because you're carrying it, the buster thinks that it's touched the sentry gun and figured its work is done. There's also some places you can build your sentry at which just messes with the buster's pathing. It just continuously walks towards the sentry for some time before it gives up again and explodes. Honestly, I don't really know many of these spots, although I do know that this spot is pretty decent. Hello, it is me, editing Chasm from the future or the past or whatever. I just came up with this little thing while I was editing the video. Moving your sentry around. It's pretty good. You don't have to move your sentry around. You can just leave it in the same spot for the entire game. It's up to you. But I don't know. You just get more enjoyment out of MVM if you keep moving your sentry around. I don't know. It's something you can do if you really want to. You don't have to, but you can. Most of the other robots, whether they're big or small, can be dealt with by another team member, especially the engineers. However, there is a small thing I want to mention. I know at the start I mentioned that I wouldn't be going over sentry spots, but I just wanted to mention this one. At the start of Wave 3 of Empire Escalation, put your sentry down around here. A few engineers will spawn around this general area. Your sentry will just take care of them. Aside from one engineer who will just wander off, but your teammates can handle that one. Probably. As per usual, spies are a bit more of a concern for the engineer, as they tend to target him more than any of the other classes. They don't spawn in the same place as the other robots, they actually spawn behind where everyone is. A lot of the time they work in groups, although they sometimes work alone as well. They kinda just become a minor inconvenience once you've upgraded your building health to max. Only tip I have for this really is to just turn around and listen. The administrator tells you when spies will spawn, so listen out for that as well. So that is mostly everything that you'll need to know about playing engineer in Mann vs Machine. Honestly, there's not all too much to talk about when it comes to this game mode in terms of the classes. Aside from some minor things, everyone's role and how they play is pretty much the same as they are in defense in the main game, and engineer is no exception to that. Like I said at the start, I've definitely missed some things, and if I have, comment below and I'll probably make a pinned comment somewhere listing everything else. I still don't know how to end videos, so